Hi, everybody. It's Jessica Eves Matthews, and this is your Bite of Business Brilliance for the week. Let's talk about Anthony Weiner. I think his name is going to become a verb, like I Weinerized that, or a Weinerism. I don't know. We got to come up with a word to describe the kind of behavior that I want to talk about today. Because Anthony Weiner, even though he's a very obviously intelligent person, because he wouldn't have gotten as far in his career as he did without being smart, really didn't use good judgment, and basically created this fiasco in Twitter by not being truly aware of the nature of social media and the permanence of the record that it creates. And while I'm hoping that most of you are not taking pictures of your private parts and sending them to people through Twitter, there is a really important lesson there for business people. And that is for you to understand that while social media is an incredible tool to connect with your client or customer base, to promote your products, to become known as an expert in your field, all of those things, and to get incredible information from other people, it's also a great way to get access to or be on the front of breaking news. I mean, we've seen that happen time and time again. So social media can be extremely powerful. But everything you post in social media, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, even YouTube videos, are permanent records. They create a permanent record. And if you've been following the Anthony Weiner story, who we now know he just resigned from Congress this week. But if you're following that, you will have heard that he took a picture. Well, there's been multiple now, but the original picture at issue, the original offensive picture, he took and sent to a woman in Seattle, and then immediately deleted it from his Twitter feed, thinking that had taken care of the problem. And that's the thing, is that there is absolutely no way to delete what you put out there in social media once it's out there. And from a legal perspective, I'm always interested about the legal issues surrounding this. And you need to understand as a business person that everything you tweet and everything you post, whether it's on your personal Facebook page or on your Twitter feed, or if you post videos on YouTube, or the comments that you leave on other people's pages, on other people's YouTube feeds, on other people's blogs, are permanent records. And there are actually services out there that can search and keep a record of your social media and internet-based activities. And once it's out there, you cannot control who's going to get their hands on it. And so I want you to understand the gravity of the situation. When you're posting things to social media, you will never be able to reel it back in. It's gone, it's out there, and it's creating a permanent record. And it could affect your brand, and it could affect your business, and it could affect your reputation greatly. It could also set up situations where you might be in trouble for defamation, or creating liability situations for yourself out there without even realizing it. So I want you to be very mindful about how you're using social media. I have noticed among the people that I am friends with on Facebook and follow on Twitter, that there are a number of people who are business people who are actively developing a brand, who have decided to get very vocal about their opinions about topics such as political issues or political candidates, or even people who are currently in office. And I think that you need to really be careful and think twice about engaging in political commentary on the internet. Because if you're trying to develop a brand, and this goes for religion, it goes for anything that could be a divisive or polarizing topic. Because if it's out there and you've taken a very specific stance on something, and maybe what you have to say is something that you feel very strongly about, but people within your client or customer base might disagree with you and actually be offended, and you could actually lose clients. Okay, so that's one way that you could end up in trouble in your business for things that you post on social media. And so I would really caution you against getting in the mud and slinging mud, making negative comments about other people, about politicians, about other businesses. I think you need to think about social media, the same way that we had to learn to think about email, and these fall under the same category. As email became more and more popular, I spent a lot of years as a litigator, and people always seem surprised that when you end up in litigation, and somebody is trying to prove a point, or they're trying to discredit you because they want to show that maybe you're not being honest, and therefore maybe you're not as trustworthy, and therefore your testimony is not trustworthy. The way they're going to do that is they're going to be able to get access always, without exception. If you're in litigation, the other side is going to get access to your hard drive. They are going to be able to access your computer. They will be able to search your emails, and now they can search your social media posts and interaction. And it is a normal part of litigation these days. So not only could you be offending potential clients and customers, but you could be creating a paper trail, a permanent record that is actually absolutely reliable in the court's eyes, which means it's admissible, which means it will hurt you in litigation if you're putting stuff out there that you don't want to come back later and bite you in the behind. So the rule is, both with email and social media, that you should not put anything on there that you would not want in the newspaper, or on the news, or on a billboard, right? You want to make sure that whatever you post helps your reputation, helps your brand, and does not do something that's going to be considered offensive, divisive, polarizing, or even defamatory against other people. So, the Anthony Weiner story is an important lesson for us, because he thought he was engaging in playful banter, I suspect. I mean, he's obviously a little off, but, I don't think that he was thinking about how this would affect him professionally. I don't know how he couldn't have been thinking that. But I don't think he understood the gravity, and I don't think he understood the permanence of that record that he created. So every photo you post, every video you post, make sure it's something you would want your mom to see, and that you wouldn't be embarrassed to have, published in the paper. And use that as your rule of thumb. And that way you're going to guard your reputation, and you're not going to be spreading things out there on the internet that you would later regret. So hopefully that's helpful to you. That's your Bite of Business Brilliance for the day. Go out and enjoy your social media experience, but be smart, okay? So here's to your brilliance. See you next time.